So this is what the portal actually looks like. When you click on the link, you will see the first picture that appears here. Basically, the test date is already shown. You simply have to click on the registration arrow as shown in the screenshot. Once you click on that arrow, you have to select the country, which is obviously India. And then here they have already mentioned the date section, but by default, it's only one date, which is 26 September. So you simply have to start searching. Then a lot of test centers will appear since you have mentioned the country. This is what your interface would look like. So as of now, we can see there is one morning slot, and we can see a few of the test centers, which is Mumbai, there's New Delhi, there's Ahmedabad. As you can already see, three of these are fully booked. Ahmedabad is still open. Some slots are available for the afternoon also, like Max Muller Bhavan in Pune. There's Eduployment in Mumbai. Again, there's Medhavi Skills University in Ahmedabad. So this is what the test centers will look like. Once you select your test center and you click on the register option, you have to start filling your data. So firstly, you will see the summary of your test centers, your slot, exam slot, which can be either morning or afternoon. Then you will see your module. So by default, general academic module is what gets selected. Once you continue, you can either log in or you can register. So obviously, since all of you would be registering for the first time, you have to click on register. Once you do that, you have to fill in all of your basic data like your designation, name, date of birth, email ID, and you have to fill in your user ID and password. Password. Once you fill in that, you will have your login credentials with you. So you again come back to this step wherein you can log in using these credentials, and then again start filling your personal data, upload your photo, mention your city, and other necessary documents. And then that's how, once you fill in this data, you can see, you'll get an overview of whatever information you have filled. You have to make the payment and then you will receive a confirmation. So that was about the registration process overall. Now let us have a little glimpse on the modules which are included in the exam, and let us plan how this preparation would look like. As I already mentioned, there will be a core module and a subject module. Core module consisting of figure sequences, mathematical equations, and Latin squares. This is an example of figure sequences. So if you see in this example, we can see a grid, 4 by 4 grid having a blue square. And if you carefully observe, this square is moving within the grid following a specific pattern, right? So here it goes upwards, then it moves towards right, then again it goes down. So we can obviously assume that this blue square is moving in a clockwise direction. So by the clockwise judgment, the next step for this blue square will be coming towards the left grid or left box. So obviously this option will be the correct option for the fifth question mark. And then it will again come upwards like this. So these two are the correct options. The blue square always moves in a clockwise direction with the middle four fields, we can say. So for the fifth matrix and the sixth matrix, the first option is correct. In the figure sequences section, you will have 20 series of matrices and you will only have 25 minutes. So we can say tentatively you will get only 1 minute for every question. If you don't know the answer, please guess which answer might be correct. And you're not allowed to take any kind of notes during exam. So simply you will have to give the answer in a judgment. In these cases, just guess the logic behind it and attempt your question. So basically the curriculum or the syllabus we can say would be based on maybe your higher secondary education or secondary school mathematics. So you have to brush up on that. Let us have a look at one example. We can see a plus 2 equals b, and they have given the value of b. which is 6. So how to solve this equation? Since they have given value of one alphabet, we will put this value in the first equation itself. So when you subtract 6 from 2, 2 from 6, you will get the value of A, which is 4, which is also explained here below. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this, but of course, I'll also be sharing this presentation with you. So you know, because of the second equation, that value of B is 6. If you replace B with the number 6 in the first equation, you get A plus 2 equals 6. So you solve that equation and get the value of A, which is 4. These are the type of mathematical equations that they will ask, finding the values of unknown variables. And you will have 25 minutes to solve all of this. You're not allowed to take any notes, so be quick. And if you're not sure about the answer, just mark the answer and move towards the next question. Now here, as you can see, there will be grids and alphabets present in the grids or matrices. If some of you have already played the game of Sudoku, maybe you will be able to relate that game here with the alphabets. So basically, there can be only one alphabet in a single row or in a column. Okay, now here we have to find the missing alphabet, which is highlighted as the red question mark. Now, since, as I mentioned, there can be only one alphabetical value in one row or column. So any of them cannot repeat any alphabet. In this column, C is already missing. So obviously the value of this question mark is C, because you can see all of the other alphabets. There's A, there is B, there is D, and there is E. So the correct answer for this question is section as well. There will be 20 series of matrices. There will be 25 minutes for you to answer all of them, and you're not allowed to take any kind of notes. So if you don't know the answer, just guess it and then move on to the next question. Here I have one more example of this series. We can see one row has 3 alphabets and this column has 4. Now, if you have a look at this, so obviously B and E, 2 of the alphabets are missing from this row. But if you have a look at this vertical column, we already have an E present at the last. So E is out of the options, right? We cannot fill in here E because this column already consists of one E already. So obviously the answer here would be a B. How did we guess this? Simply because we cannot repeat the alphabets in a row or in a column, right? So then B is the right answer for this question mark. So this was about the core module, Latin squares, mathematical equations, and then series also. Coming to the general academic module, now I have not mentioned a detailed example series of this because this is going to depend on which course you are choosing for your study or which masters you want to apply for. So it is going to be different for every degree, I would say. But in general, if we look at the common grounds of it, you will see a text and a number of questions that you have to answer. There will obviously be 4 options for each question. So it's going to be like an MCQ exam. And for each exam, there's only one correct option. It's not like more than one options are going to be the right answer. So you have to guess the correct solution out of it. It may contain equations. It may contain maybe a theorem that you have to select the right justification for it. It may contain any formulas or even tables for that matter. For this particular module, you have 90 minutes in total. And if you don't know the answer, you can simply guess on the basis of your basic understanding of the subject. You're not allowed to take notes or do calculation on paper in any of the module, for the general also, for the core also. Again, you will have 20 questions and total of 25 minutes for system of equations. Now, there are going to be different curriculums, right, under this general academic module. So this is how they would be divided. Possible topics would be mathematical, computational sciences, natural sciences, engineering, business administration, economics, social science, and humanities. So this is what the syllabus of the core of the general academic module is going to look like. Yes, so that was about the core module and the subject module for it. Now, if you have any queries, you can let us know.